Muhammad. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله وعلى أهل بيتك المظلومين. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة، يا غريب يا شهيد كربلاء. فيا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. I begin in the name of the Almighty God, the Compassionate, the Merciful, the one who has created everything in utmost perfection. And may the peace and blessings of the Almighty God be upon His pure and beloved Messenger, the peak of His creation, the symbol of humanity, the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi, and his immaculate progeny of the Ahlul Bayt, peace be upon them, especially the leader of our time, the awaited Savior, Al-Imam Al-Mahdi, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajah. May Allah hasten his reappearance and make us all amongst his sincere and dedicated servants. Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The event of Karbala on the day of Ashura is one that has inspired millions throughout the decades and the centuries. Karbala occupies a very important place in our hearts. Every year, we remember the events that unfolded on the plains of Karbala. Normally, we're familiar with most of the events that happened on the 10th day of Muharram, the day of Ashura, a day like no other, the most tragic day in history. How the day started at dawn, in what situation was the camp of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and how the battle ensued after midday. However, we do not have a clear understanding of what happened in Karbala before the 10th of Muharram. From the 1st of Muharram till the 9th of Muharram, where was the caravan of Imam Hussein alayhi salam? What were the events that led to the 10th of Muharram in the land of Karbala? Imam Hussein alayhi salam spent about 8 to 9 days in Karbala before his martyrdom. What are the events of those 8 to 9 days? In our discussion this evening, we will provide an overview and give you a breakdown of what happened on each day of the month of Muharram, from the 1st of Muharram till the 9th of Muharram, till the eve of Ashura. Imam Hussein alayhi salam had left the city of Mecca on the 8th of Dhul Hijjah. Just when everyone was coming to Mecca to perform the Hajj, Imam Hussein alayhi salam gave a speech. He informed those around him why he's leaving and why he's leading this revolution. What is the point of a Hajj when you have a ruler like Yazid and people have accepted his evil rule? The Imam was making a statement by leaving on the 8th of Dhul Hijjah. Secondly, Imam Hussein alayhi salam was being chased by the authorities. Had he stayed in Mecca, they would have killed him in Masjid al-Haram, by the Kaaba. These people don't fear God. 2 years after killing Imam Hussein, Yazid's army destroyed the Kaaba. They burned it, they razed it down. In a fight, in a battle, they actually demolished the Kaaba. These people have no sanctity for anything. Imam Hussein alayhi salam did not want to be killed by the Kaaba. He did not find this appropriate. So the Imam alayhi salam leaves towards Iraq. Now we approach the month of Muharram. The Imam is miles away from Kufa. The people of Kufa had invited him to come. He received thousands of letters. Come, we'll support you. You are our Imam. The Imam alayhi salam found it his moral and religious obligation to go to Iraq. Had he not gone to Iraq, the people would have said, we invited Hussein, but he turned down our invitation. So if there's a corrupt ruler like Yazid, it's no longer our fault. Imam Hussein had to complete the proof by the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on everyone, such that on the day of judgment, no one has an excuse. So as we approach the first of Muharram, the Imam was not in Karbala yet. He was on his way to Kufa. He was miles away from Kufa, not too far, when suddenly an army of 1,000 fighters appears in the horizon, led by Al-Hur ibn Yazid al-Riyahi. Al-Hur was a commander of the army, and he was a brave warrior. They came to intercept Imam Hussein alayhi salam and block him from marching to Kufa. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam saw this army come in his way. The Imam realized that they were very thirsty. They were traveling in the hot deserts for miles and miles. The Imam noticed their thirst. Even their horses were tired and thirsty. Imam Hussein alayhi salam had access to the banks of the river. He told his companions, give them water. Give them some water here. I see that they're thirsty. In fact, let's even spray their horses with water to cool them off. This is Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. When he had access to the river, he gave water to his enemy. But what did they do to him? This is the compassionate heart of Hussein. Now you know why after 14 centuries, the flag of Imam Hussein continues to be raised. Why Imam Hussein won? Because of moments like these, moments of humanity, kindness, and generosity. Then it was at the time of the Dhuhr prayer. So Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam told Hur, it's time for prayer. I'm going to lead my companions in prayer, and if you'd like, lead your companions in prayer. Hur said, no, we'll pray behind you. They know this is the grandson of the Prophet. And of course they accept the prayer of Imam Hussein. So everyone prayed behind Imam Hussein alayhi salam, his companions and family members. Then Hur, along with those 1,000 soldiers who were with him, they all prayed salah behind Imam Hussein alayhi salam. After the salah, Imam Hussein gave a speech. Imam Hussein alayhi salam told them that I received letters from you inviting me to Kufa. Now if you've changed your mind, I'll leave. I don't insist on going to Kufa. I see now a massive army has intercepted me. So if you don't want me to go to Kufa, I will not go to Kufa. But you sent me letters. Al-Hur, he said, Hussein, I'm not aware of these letters. Which letters are you talking about? I never sent you a letter. Imam Hussein told his companions, open these stacks of letters. Big, huge bags containing letters. And they gave it to Al-Hur. The Imam told him, see, the people of Kufa invited me. I came at their invitation. But if you've changed your mind, I will go back. Al-Hur looked at the letters. He said, well, I wasn't the one who wrote these letters. And Ibn Ziyad, the governor of Kufa, he's commanded me to stop you. You're not allowed to go to Kufa. You're not allowed to go back to Medina. However, stay here until we hear from Ibn Ziyad. Or let me take you now to Ibn Ziyad. Surrender, we'll take you to Ibn Ziyad. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, he says, no, I swear by God. Death is more within your reach than for you to capture me now and send me to Ibn Ziyad. That's not possible. When Al-Hur realized that Imam Hussein alayhi salam is very firm, he told him, okay, that's fine. Just don't go to Kufa, stay in a nearby place. We will write to Ibn Ziyad and we'll see what he will decide. In the end, he's the Amir. He will issue his commands. So we find that as we approach the first of Muharram, Imam Hussein alayhi salam was close to the land of Karbala. Imam Hussein was not allowed to go to Kufa. He was not allowed to go back to Hijaz. So the Imam basically took a left turn to the north. So on the 1st of Muharram, Imam Hussein alayhi salam avoided entering Kufa because they intercepted him. And then he was marching north. He told his companions, let's pack up. Let's leave this place and let us go to another place. Now we come to the second day of Muharram. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam is going north until he reaches a land, a place. Not too far from Kufa. About 50 miles north of Kufa, 50, 60 miles north of Kufa. The Imam alayhi salam, when he reaches this land, he notices that his horse does not move any forward. It stops there. There's no movement. The Imam alayhi salam keeps pushing the horse to move so they can continue their journey. But the horse refuses. The horse stops. Imam Hussein alayhi salam asks his companions, what is the name of this land? Tell me, where are we? One of his companions said, Aba Abdullah, this land is known as At-Taf, Ardh At-Taf. The Imam said, does it have any other name? They said, yes, Aba Abdullah, Al-Ghadriyat. The Imam says, does it have another name? Someone said, Nainawa. But Imam Hussein was looking for that name that he had heard numerous times from his grandfather Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Then finally one of his companions said, Aba Abdullah, the name of this land is Karbala. The minute Imam Hussein alayhi salam heard the word Karbala, he took a deep breath, he cried, he raised his hands and he says, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-karbi wal-bala. Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from karb, trials and tribulations, difficulties, hardships, distress, and bala, tragedies. Karbala is a combination word that's combined from two words, karb and bala. Then the Imam alayhi salam looked at his companions. He told them, my companions, you shall settle here. We have to camp here. Let's settle here in this land. For this place, in this place, our destiny awaits us. Here our men shall be killed. Here our children shall be massacred. Here our women will be taken as prisoners of war. Imam Hussein told them what would await them. This was on a Thursday, the 2nd of Muharram, year 61 after the Hijrah. Everyone began to cry when they heard that their destiny will be here in this land. Then later that day, according to some reports, Imam Hussein alayhi salam began to recite very sorrowful lines of poetry. Lady Zainab alayhi salam concluded that danger is coming. She told him, Aba Abdullah, you read these lines of poetry, that means death is going to come to you. He said, yes, of course. Lady Zainab cries and she says, Hussein is eulogizing himself. La ilaha illallah. So that day, the family of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, they erect the tents. They are by the river of Furat, not far from the Euphrates River, from a branch of the Euphrates River in Karbala. The next day is the 3rd of the month of Muharram. On this day, as Imam Hussein alayhi salam and his family and companions had settled there, they had encamped by the river, you could see a massive army descending on Karbala. This time led by Umar ibn Sa'd, the chief commander of Ibn Ziyad's army, of Yazid's army. Some reports indicate he arrived with 30,000 troops and soldiers. So on the 3rd day of Muharram, this huge army arrives in Karbala. And basically, they camp between the tents of Imam Hussein and the river of Furat. Imam Hussein alayhi salam had camped about 600 meters to the west of the river. These soldiers now basically stood between Imam Hussein and the river of Furat. It was a very difficult day for the family of the Ahlul Bayt to see those massive numbers coming to fight them. Imam Hussein alayhi salam requested to meet Umar ibn Sa'd. He met him. Umar ibn Sa'd told him, why did you want to go to Kufa? What brings you to Kufa? Imam Hussein alayhi salam said, the people of Kufa invited me. That's why I came. I have letters. But if you don't want me to come, that's fine. I'll go back. The Imam made it very clear he's not here to shed blood or to fight or kill. Let me go. I'll go back. Umar ibn Sa'd said, no. I cannot let you go. I would rather avoid the confrontation and the fight. Initially, Umar ibn Sa'd, he did not want to fight because he knew this was a shame for him in history. He will be eternally damned and doomed if he fights the grandson of the Prophet. He told him, wait here. We have to tell Ibn Ziyad and get the permission from him. This is an important decision. I cannot just let you go like that. I can't let you go back to Hijaz or to some other place. Let me ask Ibn Ziyad. Some reports indicate later that day, on the 3rd of Muharram, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam approached a tribe in that area who owned the land of Karbala. And he purchased the land of Karbala for 60,000 dirhams, which are silver coins, from them. And the area is about 4 miles by 4 miles. And that is originally the land of Karbala. Imam Hussein alayhi salam is buried in a land that he owns. Legally, the Imam bought the land from them. We now come to the 4th day of Muharram. Umar ibn Sa'd has a tough decision to make. Ibn Ziyad has promised him a great reward if he stands firm and he fights Imam Hussein alayhi salam. But he really did want to avoid the battle because he knew that he would be eternally disgraced if he fights Hussein. So he writes a letter to Ibn Ziyad and he tells him, Ibn Ziyad, I've come to a good middle ground and I thank God that he's extinguished the fire of chaos and fitna. Hussein has agreed not to go to Kufa. So let's make an agreement with him. Let him either go back or later he may decide to go and see Yazid. Let's leave that up to him. But Hussein does not want to fight and he has agreed not to go to Kufa. He'll just go back. He won't come to Iraq. So Alhamdulillah, we've come to a solution. No need to fight him. Let him just go. He sends a letter to Ibn Ziyad. On the 5th of Muharram, the reply comes from Ibn Ziyad. And he sends the letter with Shimr ibn Dhul Jawshan, a very evil and ferocious man. Ibn Ziyad tells Shimr, go. Go and give this letter to Umar ibn Sa'd. Give him an ultimatum. Either Hussein surrenders and he comes as a captive to me in Kufa, or we fight him. There is no other option. You can't just let him go like that. That's not possible. I don't allow it. So either you force Hussein to surrender or you kill him. Otherwise, you're no longer the commander of my army, and I'll assign Shimr to be the commander. So tell Ibn Sa'd, is he willing to obey me or not? Shimr arrives in Karbala and he gives the letter to Umar ibn Sa'd. He tells him, here, this is a letter from your Amir. He looks at the letter. Ibn Ziyad tells him, look, I've sent this letter with Shimr. Either you obey me or give the banner to Shimr. Let him lead the army. If Hussein does not surrender, you have to kill him. You have to behead him and his companions, dismember their bodies, and I want you to have the horses trample them too. How vicious can a human being become? This is the grandson of your prophet. You claim to be a Muslim. This is the grandson of your prophet. And these vicious people, the 30,000 people, they accepted this. Look at what dunya does to the people, how it blinds them to the reality and to the truth. But Umar ibn Sa'd was struggling. He found himself in a tough situation. That night, Umar ibn Sa'd had a very difficult moment trying to come to a decision. On the one hand, this is Hussein, how can I kill him? I know he is the rightful leader. I know he's chosen by God. I know he is the grandson of the Prophet. If I kill him, I will eternally be damned. My fate is hell. But on the other hand, I want the reward from the Amir. How can I give up this opportunity? Mulk al-Ray. He's promised me to appoint me the governor of Ray, which is modern day Tehran in Iran. I want the money, I want the power. In the end, he made a decision. On the 6th of Muharram, we see that Umar ibn Sa'd had made a decision to collaborate with Shimr. He told him, Shimr, that's it. My decision is to fight Hussein. If he does not surrender, we will fight him. So let's collaborate together. Let's surround Hussein and let us fight him and take his head to Ibn Ziyad. Eventually, he succumbed to his worldly desires. On the 6th of Muharram, we find that more and more companions had joined Al-Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. One of those companions who had joined Al-Imam al-Hussein was Habib ibn Madahir. Habib ibn Madahir was one of the companions of the Prophet, one of the best companions of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. He was 75 years old when he joined Imam Hussein alayhi salam. On his way to Iraq, Imam Hussein had sent him a letter, an amazing, fascinating letter. In the letter, Imam Hussein alayhi salam said, Min al-Hussein ibn Ali. From Hussein ibn Ali to the scholar Habib ibn Madahir. See how Imam Hussein respects him. Habib ibn Madahir memorized the Quran. He was a scholar and he was a warrior. The Imam had told him in the letter, Oh Habib, you know our kinship to the Prophet. You more than anyone knows us Ahlul Bayt. And now we need your support. Do not fall short in supporting us. My grandfather, the Prophet ﷺ, will reward you on the Day of Judgment. Habib joins, along with his brother Ali, along with his cousin Muslim ibn Awsaja, they join Imam Hussein alayhi salam. On the 6th of Muharram, Habib ibn Madahir tells Imam Hussein, there's a tribe, it's a branch of Banu Asad. They live around Karbala. Do you give me the permission to go and talk to them? I'll mobilize them to come and join us. Maybe they will help us fight these enemies. The Imam says, I give you permission. He goes to them. He tells them, my dear tribe, my dear people, I have come with the best that any visitor can bring. I have come to invite you to defend Abi Abdullah al-Hussein, the grandson of your Prophet. If you want, on the Day of Judgment, to be forgiven by Allah, to be given the shafa'ah of Prophet Muhammad, come and join Hussein. Many of them were motivated. 90 of them promised support. They said, yes, Habib, we'll come to you. News reached Umar ibn Sa'd that this tribe is trying to join Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So quickly he dispatched 400 fighters to stop them. Unfortunately, they stopped them from joining. Habib ibn Madahir comes, tells Imam Hussein alayhi salam, 90 of them were willing to join, but Umar ibn Sa'd stopped them. The Imam alayhi salam says, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. There is no power, there is no strength except by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then we come to the 7th of Muharram. On the 7th of Muharram, the situation now becomes dire. Umar ibn Sa'd receives a letter from Ibn Ziyad commanding him to cut Imam Hussein alayhi salam, to cut access from water, to cut him off from water. He tells him, deny Hussein and his companions and his family from drinking any water. They should not taste a drop of water. Look at the cruelty here. So Umar ibn Sa'd organizes an army of 500 horsemen. He tells them, guard the banks of the river Furat. Do not let anyone from the camp of Imam Hussein get any water from now on. So on the 7th of Muharram, they blocked Imam Hussein alayhi salam from having access to the river. This is a very tragic moment, very difficult. Later that night, Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam, along with a number of the companions of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, they tried to go to the river to get some water, to save these women and children. They go there. One of the companions who was there, his name was Hilal ibn Nafi' al-Bajali. He says, I was there at the banks of the river when they sensed that we're there, that we discreetly came. Amr ibn al-Hajjaj, he was in charge of guarding the river. He said, who is there? I told him, it's me, Hilal ibn Nafi'. He asked me, what are you doing here? You don't have the right to come here to the river. I said, I'm taking water. We're taking water. We're filling the buckets with water. He said, no, only you drink, that's fine. I'm not going to stop you. But you cannot take any water to Hussein. He told him, you want me to drink and the grandson of the Prophet is thirsty? No. Some historical reports say a fight broke out, led by Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. He attacked them. They dispersed from around the river. And they successfully reached the river and they filled some buckets with water. They took those buckets to the camp of Imam Hussein. This was the 7th Muharram at night. And this was the last time that they had access to the river of Furat. Whatever water they had is what they had till the 10th of Muharram. They did not acquire any new water. That was the only remaining water that they could secure. Remember, it's a desert environment. It's very hot. Many women and children, they really needed water. This was not enough to really take them to the 10th of Muharram. But this is the trial of the Ahlul Bayt. We now come to the 8th of Muharram, 2 days before Ashura. On this day, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam requests to see Umar ibn Sa'd. The Imam sends him a message, I want to have a meeting with you. He agrees. Imam Hussein comes with 20 of his men. Umar ibn Sa'd comes with 20 of his men. Then Imam Hussein tells his men to go. Only his son Ali Akbar and his brother Al-Abbas stay with him. Umar ibn Sa'd also has his son stay with him and another man. And he tells his men to go. So 6 people now in this meeting. Imam Hussein and 2, Umar ibn Sa'd and 2 of his people. Imam Hussein alayhi salam admonishes him. Imam Hussein alayhi salam tells him, you know who I am. Do you want to please Allah, O Umar ibn Sa'd? Come join me. Leave that side, come join me. Allah will eternally bless you. Umar ibn Sa'd here knows the truth, so he has to come up with excuses. He told him, but Hussein, I'm afraid if I join you, they will demolish my house. Yes, Ibn Ziyad had made that threat. Imam Hussein told him, that's okay. I'll build you another house. Meaning I'll have another house built for you somewhere else. I'll guarantee that. He told him, but I am concerned that my property, my farmland, my ranch will be taken away from me. Imam Hussein alayhi salam told him, that's okay. I'll compensate you with a better ranch in Hijaz. You don't have to stay in Iraq. Umar ibn Sa'd said, but I fear for my family and children. I don't know what will happen to them. Maybe they'll kill them if I join you. Imam Hussein alayhi salam said, I'll guarantee their safety. Allahu Akbar. This is the master of the youth of paradise saying this to you. In the end, Umar ibn Sa'd said, but I've been promised the power of Rai. Imam Hussein realized this man is stubborn and he's not willing to see the truth. Imam Salamullahi alayhi told him, may Allah curse you and may Allah send someone to slaughter you on your bed. You will never see success by fighting me. And that's exactly what happened. That's how Umar ibn Sa'd died, and he never saw the mulk of Rai. You think you have barakah in your life when you come to kill Abi Abdullah al-Hussein? Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam gently tried, but these people were so blind in their hearts. The desire of dunya, this dunya blinded him. And we have to be careful, my dear brothers and sisters. Sometimes it's money, it's power, it's a position that makes me anger God and oppress others just because I want to gain more and more wealth. Never allow the dunya to captivate your heart like that. Now we come to the 9th of Muharram, the last day before Ashura. Al-Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam says, on this day, Al-Imam al-Hussein was surrounded from all sides. The army of Ibn Ziyad was complete with massive numbers, tens of thousands. They effectively surrounded Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Now no one could join him anymore. Before the 9th, there was room for people to join Imam Hussein. They could have tried, but not on the 9th of Muharram. You could not have access to Imam Hussein. So on that day, the army of Ibn Ziyad rejoiced. They're like, we've won the battle. We're 30,000. They're about 100. And we've effectively surrounded them from all sides. No one can now come and support Hussein. We will win this battle. On the 9th of Muharram, Shimr ibn Dhil Jawshan, he walks towards the camp of Imam Hussein. And he calls on Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas and his brothers. He tells them, "Oh my nephews, oh the sons of my brothers." That's because Shimr ibn Dhil Jawshan came from the Bani Kilab tribe. The mother of Abbas, al-Banin, Fatima al-Banin, also came from that tribe. So he was related to them. He came and he said, "Come, my nephews, I want to speak to you." Al-Abbas detested Shimr, this evil enemy. He did not want to respond to him. But Imam Hussein alayhi salam told him, "My dear brother, it's okay. Go and see what he has to offer you. See what he wants." Al-Abbas with his brothers, they walk out of the tents. They tell him, "Yes, Shimr, what do you want?" He tells them, "I've brought you amnesty. You, Abbas, and your brothers. Leave Hussein. We won't fight you. You'll live. No one will hurt you. In the end, you're my relatives. You're from my tribe. So I will give you amnesty if you surrender Hussein to us." Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam becomes infuriated. He tells him, "May Allah curse you and your amnesty. You want to give me safety and amnesty while the son of Rasulullah has no amnesty? May Allah curse you and your amnesty. Never, never will we abandon Imam Hussein." Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas was extremely disturbed because Shimr made this evil offer. Then later on, Imam Hussein alayhi salam was sitting in front of his tent, his sword in his hand. He had his blessed head resting on his knees. He took a short nap. Suddenly, Lady Zainab alayhi salam, she comes to him, she tells him, "Hussein, do you hear that noise out there? It seems like they're coming." Imam Hussein alayhi salam wakes up from the nap. He tells her, "My dear sister Zainab, just now I saw my grandfather, my father Ali, my mother Fatima, my brother Hassan, they're all telling me, come to us. We are waiting for you." Lady Zainab cries. She tells him, "Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, that means then your death is close." He says, "Yes, Zainab, this is my fate." Then Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas comes to Imam Hussein. He tells him, "Hussein, they're coming. It looks like they're starting the battle." Umar ibn Sa'ad mobilizes the army and he told them, let's now go and start the battle. This is the afternoon of the 9th of Muharram. They had decided to start the battle on the 9th initially. Imam Hussein alayhi salam sends Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. He tells him, "My dear brother Abbas, go to them and see what they're up to." So Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam, along with 20 men, they go and they speak to them. "What's the matter? What's the issue here?" Umar ibn Sa'ad tells him, "That's it. Either Hussein surrenders or we're going to start the fight right now." He says, "Okay, let me go tell Imam Hussein." He comes and he tells Imam Hussein, he says, "Aba Abdullah, these evil men are determined to kill you if we do not surrender. So they want to start the battle." The Imam alayhi salam tells him, "Okay, I have a request. Go and convey to them my request. Tell them to postpone the battle till tomorrow morning, the day of Ashura, not today." And Imam al-Hussein tells Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas why. He tells him, "I want this last night to be dedicated to Allah. Allah knows how much I love worshiping Him, supplicating to Him, praying, salah, reading the Quran, asking for istighfar. Allah knows how much I love this. So I want one more night, one additional night to have my moment with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tell them to give us one more night." And the Imam also wanted to farewell the women and the children, to give his final will and wasiyah to his son, Al-Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. Abu al-Fadl Abbas goes to them. He tells them Hussein is not going to surrender. However, he's asking for an extension. Don't start the battle now. Postpone it till tomorrow. Initially there was a commotion. Some said yes, some said no. They were debating it. They were hesitant, but until finally they told Umar ibn Sa'd, that's okay. He's just asking you to postpone it till tomorrow. We have nothing to lose. We're surrounding them. He cannot escape anywhere. So let's give them time till tomorrow. Umar ibn Sa'd agrees. He tells Abu al-Fadl Abbas, okay, fine. Then Umar ibn Sa'd sends a messenger. He comes and he stands by the tents of Imam Hussein, and he tells them, make no mistake. If you don't surrender, tomorrow we're going to fight. That's it. We're not going to postpone it any further. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam gathers his companions, and he tells them, let's dig a trench around our tents. That way, we just open one side. So when the battle begins tomorrow, they can only attack us from one side. Because if they can attack us from all sides, they can easily come and attack the women and the children. And as long as Hussein is alive, no one has the audacity to go and harm the women and the children. So this was a strategy that Imam Hussein alayhi salam came up with. They dug a trench, a deep trench around the tents, and they put coal and basically wood and dry brushes in there, and they set it to fire. So no one can cross the trench. There was only one side now that you could come and attack the tents of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And that's from the eastern side towards the river. One historical report states a man by the name of Malik ibn Hawza. He comes and he looks at the fire, and mockingly he says, "Oh Hussein, the fire of dunya, you quickly started this fire. On the day of judgment, a greater fire is going to burn you." Imam Hussein alayhi salam said, "You are lying. You are the one who will be burned by the fire of Allah. As for me, I have a compassionate Lord whom I will go back to soon. And I ask Allah to forgive me. And I have the shafa'ah of my grandfather. You're the cursed one who is going to burn in hell." You see how his enemies even treated him, the way in which they spoke. But these were difficult moments. Now we go into the eve of Ashura. This is the 9th of Muharram at night. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam gathers his companions, and he gives a powerful speech. He says, "Oh Allah, I thank you for choosing us the Ahlul Bayt. I thank you, Allah, for making us the family of the Prophet. I thank you, Allah, for teaching us the Quran and teaching us the deep understanding of religion." Then he says, "I swear by Allah, I do not know any companions better than my companions. They are the best of companions, the most righteous companions, and my family is the most righteous family." Then Imam Hussein alayhi salam looks at them, and basically he tells them, the enemy only wants me. They don't want to kill you. If tomorrow they kill me, all of you will be safe. Now it's dark at night. Take advantage of the darkness of the night and leave. Secretly, one by one, hold each other's hands and leave. He tells his family, he tells his companions, they only want me. Look at the honesty of Imam al-Hussein. He told them, if you stay with me, defending me, all of you will die tomorrow. When they heard the speech of Imam al-Hussein, they were extremely moved. The first one to speak was Abu al-Fadl Abbas, then other members of Bani Hashim, then the companions. They told him, "Oh Aba Abdullah, impossible. It's impossible for us to abandon you. Now on such a night you want us to abandon you? This is impossible. We'd rather die with you. And the greatest honor is to die with you, O Aba Abdullah al-Hussein." Then Muslim ibn Awsaja, Zuhair ibn al-Qayn, they told Imam al-Hussein, "We swear by God, if I were to die, then I'd be resurrected. Then I'd be burned to death. Then I'd be resurrected. And 70 times this happens to me. They keep killing me, and I taste death 70 times. To leave you, I would never leave you. How about if it's just one death? And eternally Allah will give me my reward. Why would I abandon you, O Hussein?" When Imam al-Hussein saw that his companions are determined to stay with him, he showed them their level in paradise. Each one of them saw their place in heaven. And this was a vision that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them. Then Al-Qasim ibn al-Hasan, he came to Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. He told him, my dear uncle, will I also die tomorrow? Before answering him, the Imam wanted to test him. The Imam told him, my dear nephew, how do you find death? Tell me. He told him, my dear uncle, if it's in your path, supporting you, it's sweeter than honey. Imam Hussein told him, yes, you also will achieve martyrdom. Abu al-Fadl Abbas gathered the members of Bani Hashim. He told them, do I have a firm commitment from you that tomorrow you will fight till your last breath defending Hussein? They all said yes. That night, Lady Zainab was in the tent with Imam Zain al-Abidin. He was extremely ill. She was helping him with his illness when she overheard Imam Hussein talking to his companion John ibn Huway. John was sharpening his sword. Imam Hussein was talking to him. Imam Hussein said lines of poetry that meant tomorrow he will be massacred. Lady Zainab could not control herself. She broke into tears. She came running to Imam Hussein. She tells him, oh Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, I wish I would have been dead, not to see the day on which you'll be killed. I cannot handle this. It's as if I feel right now as if my grandfather has been killed, my father has been killed, my mother has been killed, my brother has been killed. Hussein, you are everything to me. Lady Zainab was in a severe state of panic. Imam Hussein alayhi salam washes her face with water. Then he prays and he says, oh Allah, grant Zainab the patience. And it is this dua of Hussein that gave Zainab the patience to stay strong. Otherwise, it's not a trial that anyone can handle. As great as you are, to see someone like Hussein beheaded and then to be taken as prisoners of war. But that night was a difficult night. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, he gathers the women and the children in the tent of Imam Zain al-Abidin. This is the night of Ashura. He tells them, the next Imam is Zain al-Abidin. My son Ali, he's your Imam, so you have to follow him and obey him. Then the Imam gives his wasiyah, his final will to his son, Al-Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. Then he looks at them and he tells them, tell my followers that Hussein has been killed thirsty. So remember the thirst of Hussein. Remember the tragedy of Hussein. Mourn Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. This is a request according to this report from Al-Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. On that night, Al-Imam al-Hussein along with his companions, they did not sleep. They were worshipping Allah all night long. One narrator says, I heard them supplicating in a low voice, supplicating to God. It's like the buzzing of the bees. All of them, they were supplicating to Allah. What a stark contrast with the army of Umar ibn Sa'ad. You could see them partying that night, getting drunk that night, worshipping shaitan. But the camp of Hussein was close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These were their final moments. But on this night, O believers, the women and the children, they were safe that they were with Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. Their guardian and protector, Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, was there. They had that feeling of safety. As long as Hussein's alive, Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas is alive, who dares come and harass us and beat us and hurt us? Yes, this is how attached they were to Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. But O believers, what happened after the tragedy of Karbala? Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam had a daughter by the name of Ruqayya. She was about 3 or 4 years old. She dearly missed Imam al-Hussein after the battle of Karbala. On their way to Kufa, to Sham, she would frequently say, where is my father Hussein? I miss my father Hussein. I can't stand this separation. She loved her father dearly. She was attached to her father. How can she be separated from him? She missed her father dearly. Then when they arrived in the ruins of Sham, they slept in those ruins ruins. One night in those ruins in Damascus, Lady Ruqayya saw her father Hussein in her dream. She woke up from her dream wailing and crying. What's the matter, Ruqayya? Why do you cry so much? I just saw my father in my dream right now and I miss him dearly. I don't know what to do. This pain of separation is killing me. I want my father Hussein. Everyone started to cry in those ruins, the women and the children. This commotion came out of the ruins. Yazid, from his palace, he overheard the commotion. He asked his guards, what's the matter? Why are they crying? They told him one of the daughters of Hussein just saw her father in her dream. She misses her father. She wants her father. That's why she's crying, and she made everyone cry. Oh, believers, you know what this ruthless dictator did? He told them, okay, then what are you waiting for? Take the head of her father Hussein to her. Let her see the head of her father. They put the head of Imam Hussein alayhi salam in a tray and they cover that tray. They bring it to Ruqayya. They put it before her. She tells them, what is this? Well, I didn't request for anything. What is this? They told her, Ruqayya, this is what you want. Uncover it. When she uncovered the tray, she saw the severed head of her father Hussein. It had been about a month she had not seen him. Her eyes fell on this face. But the last time she had seen Hussein, Hussein was alive, beautiful, standing before her. This time, his head was severed and his beard was stained with blood. She collapsed on the head of Imam Hussein. أبا يا حسين من الذي حز وريدك? My dear father Hussein, who's the one who severed your head? أبا يا حسين من الذي خضب شيبك? My dear father Hussein, who's the one who stained your beard with blood? أبا يا حسين من الذي أيتمني على صغر سني? My dear father Hussein, who is the one who orphaned me at such a young age? She held the head of her father. She hugged the head of her father. She began to cry until slowly she quieted down. Slowly her voice became more and more faint until she stopped crying. Yes, the woman and the children thought maybe she was exhausted. She took a nap. She slept. At that point, Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam told his aunt Zainab. He told her, my aunt Zainab, lift her from the head of my father Hussein. For I swear by God, she has died. She has departed this world. She could not handle the pain of separation. They lifted Ruqayya only to discover that she had passed away. Allahu Akbar, what a tragedy for the family of Imam Hussein. Then there was a woman over there by the ruins. They told her, please come, let's prepare Ruqayya for burial. Let's wash her body. Before she started to wash the body, she noticed black spots on the body of Ruqayya. So this lady, she told Lady Zainab, I'm not willing to wash her. I'm afraid she has a disease that's contagious. I see all these black marks. Lady Zainab broke into tears. She told her, oh lady, this is not a disease. You see these black spots? Whenever Ruqayya would remember her father and cry, those enemies would beat her with the sticks, with the back of the spears. Normally a child who loses her father, when she'd cry, at least there would be someone to console her, to show her sympathy. At least they allow her to cry, but not Ruqayya. During the last 20 days from Karbala to Iraq, from Karbala to Kufa to Sham, whenever she would remember her father, whenever she would cry, they would beat her. That's how they showed her sympathy. That's why you see those black marks on her body. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا آل محمد أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين.
با پای پرورمم درد سر حرمم اینا دیگه جون ندارم منو بغل کنن بیارن با پای پرورمم بابا درد سر حرمم دیگه حالا خیلی شبیه مادرم من را ببخش اگر که لکنت زبان گرفتن آخر شکست دستی دندان شیریم را آی بابا زن قصال اومد بدن شریفشو غسل بده عقب کشید خودشو گذاشت بره کجا میری او اول به من بگیدی بچه با چه مریضی از دنیا رفته مبادا واگیر داشته باشه این کبودی ها چیه این زخم و بلا چیه همه گفتن از بس این بچه رو زدن ای بابا حکایتی شده مویم ای بابا داستان داره ای بابا ببین شکست پهلویم همه اینا حکایت داره اما یه جان خیلی سخت بود بابا جان بیابون بود و من سرگردون با اون نامرده نامسلمون ای بابا حکایتی داره رویم نمیخوای منو ببری در اومدی دختر شاهم ولی تو رخت اسیر دوون نداره بابا جون دندون شیر دختر شاهو کی دیده گریون باشه یتیمو کی دیده لبش پرخون باشه کی دیدیمون از مجرم بیرون باشه اگر که توی بغل جای منم ما روزانو یه بابا فلک عمو بودم یک روز، اما حالا میپیچم به خودم مثل زهرا، شکست دست منو میلرزه. غارتیا بابا ای خیلی نامردم، دعوا سر گوشواره منی کردم، زخمی گوش من هنوز بابای من، بابای من، بابای من، همه دنیا برای بقیه سرگرد و خاکیتم برای من، پس دیگه این تنور و اون طبق یکمم بیا بشین رو پای من بابا جان. وقتی از بالا می افتادی زمین، نمیدونی چی می اومد به سرم، همه رو شاید ببخشم ولی از نیزدار سر تو نمیگذرم. در تکون میدم اون از اون که بی خبر رفتی سفر، حالا هم که اومدی نمیبری. راستی بهت گفته بودم تو کوچه ها بازار برد فروشان بگذریم، خیلی وقت ندیدمت، دلم برات یه ذره شده بود. یه حرف اونم نزنیم اصلا. راست میگم که یک شب بزرگ شدم، دندونای شیریمو اصلا دیدی، دختری که وصله جون تو بود، میدونی که چند شبه نبود من دست داشتم به تو از دور بوسه میدادم. بابا من فقط یکم موام سوخته، همین، چیزی نشده. دختر دارا من فقط یکم موام سوخته، همین یکمم کبود رنگم، مگه نه لباسام یه ذره نامرتبه، ولی من هنوز قشنگم، مگه نه؟
گوشه خراب آن نشسته بود، هی میگفت بابای امشب میرسه، واسه خاطر منم اگه نیاد با دعای عمه زینب میرسه. یه نگاهش به در خراب است، یه نگاه به عمه زینب میکنه، با همون دستای زخمی و کوچیک هی لباساشو مرتب میکنه. آخه باباش تمام دخترها تا میبینن باباشون مهمون میخواد بیاد، مخصوصا بابا خودشونو مرتب میکنن. آخه باباش داره از سفر میاد، نباید سوختگیاشو ببینه، دوست نداره وقتی باباش میرسه کبودی دست و پاشو ببینه. دیگه گریه نداره، صبر کن باهات کار دارم الان ببینم جلو خودتو میتونی بگیری. اومدن توی خراب با طبق به کویر خشک بارون اومده، امش اومد کنارش نشست و گفت دخترم بیا 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 که مهمون اومده. وقتی رو پوش و کنار زد چی میدی؟ شما همه ازت رقیه‌ای، تو را می اومدی بچت میگفت بابا پام درد میکنه، زود بغلش میگرفتی. حالا تو طاقت داری بشنوی؟ وقتی رو پوش و کنار زد چی میدید که همش با دست میزد تو دهنه، به لب باباش نگاه کرد و میگفت این لب و دندونا با چی زدن، این لب و دندونو با چی زدن.
بابا دیدی تموم شده، صبوری اومدی، معلومه که تو از چه راه دوری اومدی، آخه تو که پا نداری چجوری اومدی؟ بابا پای منم ببین میسوزه تاولش، خیلی عوض شدی بابا، نشناختم اوله. بشم فدای اون چشمای بیرمق. کدوم پلیدی سر تو گذاشته تو طبق. گفت بابا وضع منو میبینی، درد منو میدونی، خوابم میاد بابایی قصه برام مثل قدیمات دوباره میکشی نازمو، تو گوشت میخوام بابا بگم یه رازمو. دیدی توی بازار شام چادر نمازمو، بهم بگو کجا رفتی تو این شبا، خرابه بهتر از تنور خونی بابا. قصه کوچه ها خیلی مفصله، هنوز رو صورتم جای سینی اوله. نگم کجاها بردن خواهر و دخترها تو، هی میبینم کابوسه دروازه ساعتو. بابا بازار نرفته بودیم که رفتیم، سیلین نخورده بودیم که خوردیم. محال دیگه خوب بشه زخمای این گلو، از قصه تشت طلا چیزی بهم نگو. راستی بابا چرا باهات نیومده عمو؟ خبر داره شده سیلی نوازشم، میدونه خاک این خراب شده بالشم. خبر داره عمو که گریه کارمه، نگاه به من چند روزه که آستین پارمه.
موقعی که اسبا میگه آب میریختم امیرالمومنین بدن از زهرا رو میشست. میگه یه بار دیدم امیرالمومنین دست از غسل و کفن کشید، دیدم سر به دیوار گذاشته گریه بلند. صدا زدم آقا جان چه حالی الان؟ صدا زد آخه دستم به بازوی برم کرده. فرمود بازوی زهرا مثل دو من برم کرد، خیلی سخته برم کار غسل و کفن رو کرد تا اومد بندای کفن. یه وقتی حسنین آستین بلده گرفتن گریه میکنن. صدا زد یتیمان فاطمه بیا. میگن همچنان که تیری از کمان نهابش بچه ها دویدن به سمت بدن جان یکی بر روی سینه مادر، یکی بر کف پای مادر رو به صورت از صدای خدا دیگه دستای زهرا از که میترسم دنیای بیمار کجایی کجایی خود را به آغوشت مگر بسپارم امشب
کجا رفتی ندیدمت از خیمه ها رفتی ندیدمت رو نیزه ها بودی میدیدمت تشت طلا رفتی میدیدمت با این چشای بارونی میدیدمت رو نی با لبهای خونی میدیدمت که داری قرآن میخونی چادر من چه بود چرا بی عبا گیسوی من چه بود چرا تشت زد دامن من چه بود چرا نیزه ها چرا نیزه ها دلم شکست میخورد لب تو چوب دلم شکست بازار شهر شام سرم شکست گفتم تو رو میخوام سرم شکست میبینمت حالا تو کنج با عشقای دونه دونه میگیرمت با دستایی که بی جونه حالا که اومدی چرا بی هوا حالا که اومدی چرا بی خبر حالا که اومدی چرا بی امون حالا که اومدی چرا پس بابا 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 من الذي أيتمني على صغر سني بابا به من بگو کی به پیچونی زنگ زده
گفتم میام با اکبر میام سوار هست با اصغر میام فکر فکرشم نمی کردم با سر میای ابر چشا خون بارونه خرابمون مثل زندونه بابا جون بیا ما رو ببر خونه کجا بودی محبوبم بدون تو شوبم حال منو میپرسی تو خوب باشی من خوبم چی شده بابا جون چشات چی شده بابا جون فدای لب شیرینه لبات شده بابا جون چی شده بابا جون چشات چی شده بابا جون فدای لب خونینه لبات شده بابا جون چی شده چشات چی شده فدای لب خونینه لبات چی شده فدای لب خونینه لبات گفتم میای با اکبر میای سوار اسب با اصغر میای فکرشم نمی کردم با سر میای ابر چشات خون بارونه خرابم مثل زندونه بابا جون بیا ما رو ببر خونه کجا بودی محبوبم بدون تو شوبم حال منو میپرسی تو خوب باشی من خوب آخ موات چی شده بابا چشات چی شده بابا فدای لب خونینه آخ لبات شده بابا آخ لبات چی شده بابا جون آخ لبات شده بابا آخ لبات شده بابا آخ لبات های تنگ غروب تو هجوم غم مثل ربا سینه میزدم میشکست بغض دل تنگی حرم میومدن دخترای شام با دیدنه عشق بی صدا دیدنه چادر پاره و عصام اگه تو را میدیدن بهم نمیخندیدن عصای کوچیکم رو ازم نمیدزدیدن پامو ببین بابا جون موهامو ببین بابا جون چشاتو به سختی دیدم چشامو ببین بابا
چرا بارون نمیاد آسمون سبک بشه چرا بارون نمیاد تا قافله جون بگیره صورت ابرا شبیه صورتم کبود شده، دل من خیلی گرفته، کاشکی بارون بگیره. چرا بارون نمیاد تا گریه هام دیده نشه؟ دوست دارم یک دل سیر گریه کنم، نمیتونم. روی نیزه هنوزم ترک ترک داره لبش. چرا بارون نمیاد روی لب عمو جونم؟ سر مردامون روی نیزه است. ای داد ای داد ای داد ای داد. شنیدم یکی گفت سر عبا از نی افتاد. ای داد ای داد. بارون نمیاد تا خاک صحرا گل بشه. شترای بی جهاز حوصله رو سر میارن. اگه بارون بگیره قافله دیرتر میرسه. اینا هم تلافیشو سر ماها در میارن. خوب بارون نمیاد وگرنه روزه آتش. روزه کودک لب تشنه آب تازه میشه. اگه بارون بباره گریه همون بند نمیاد. اگه بارون بباره داغ رباب تازه میشه. سر شیرخواره روی نیزه است. ای داد ای داد ای داد ای داد. شنیدم یکی گفت سر اصغر از نه. از آسمون شهر شام چی شده که اینجوری دارن به ما سنگ میزنن؟ اینا که مردای ما رو کربلا سر بریدن. دوباره چی شده طبل و دهل جنگ میزنن؟ چرا بارون میباره از چشای اهل حرم؟ چرا از دست نیزه ها داره خون میباره؟ من که چادر سرمه مگه اول فصل چی دیده؟ چی گفت سر بابا عزمه
الهی بمیرم این روزا تبدار مادر، الهی بمیرم این شبا تا صبح بیدار مادر. درد داره اما لبخند میزنه، خیلی به فکر فردای من مادر دیگه. مردم میسوزه از تب، چیزی نمیگه امشب و هر شب، چیزی نمیگه مادر دیگه. دنیا برا من شیرینه تا وقتی سایش رو سرمه، دنیای من مادرمه. فاطمه مادرمه و فاطمه مادرمه و فاطمه مادرمه و فاطمه مادرمه. الهی بمیرم که چه زود پیر شده مادر، الهی بمیرم انگار از دنیا سیر شده مادر. با این که روی پاهاش ورمه، هر جای خونه دورو برمه مادر دیگه. از درد بازوش چیزی نمیگه، از زخم پهلوش چیزی نمیگه مادر دیگه. دنیا به دردام تسکینه تا وقتی سایش رو سرمه، دنیای من مادرمه. فاطمه مادرمه و فاطمه مادرمه و فاطمه مادرمه و فاطمه فاطمه مادرمه و فاطمه مادرمه و فاطمه مادرمه و فاطمه مادرمه. تنهای تنها من همون تنها ترینم، اومدم تو این غریبی زیر سایتون بشین. اومده دوباره اون که بیقرار و سر به زیره، همه ی حاجتش اینه پای پرچمت بمیر. اومدم با گریه قشنگترین سلامه همه دار و ندارم عشق روی گونه ها از خودم گلایه دارم منو از خودم جدا کن روم سیاه ابن زهرا تو برای من دعا ابن زهرا ابن زهرا ابن زهرا ابن زهرا ابن زهرا ابن زهرا نکنه تو التهابه رو سیاهیا بمونم امشبم بگذره و من از رفیقام جا بمون دل من هواتو کرده من هوامو از تو میخوام اومدم بگم که امسال کربلامو از تو میخوام
Raise your hands in dua, brothers and sisters. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. 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 اللهم إنا نسألك وندعوك باسمك العظيم الأعظم الأعز الأجل الأكرم يا الله 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 إلهي بفاطمة وأبيها وبعلها وبنيها والسر المستودع فيها اكشف عنا السوء يا الله. اللهم اغفر ذنوبنا كفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار مع محمد وآله الأطهار صلواتك عليهم أجمعين. ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا يا الله. اللهم اقض حوائج المؤمنين والمؤمنات شافي وعافي جميع مرضى المؤمنين والمؤمنات على الخصوص من أوصونا بالدعاء منهم. اللهم اقض حوائجهم شاف مرضاهم احفظهم في أوطانهم وديارهم بحفظك ورحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. رب اغفر لي ولوالدي وارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا اجزهما بالإحسان إحسانا وبالسيئات غفرانا. رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاء. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج واجعلنا من شيعته وأنصاره وأعوانه والمستشهدين بين يديه. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا هو قائدا، هو دليلا، حتى تسكنه أرضك طوى وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أرنا الطلعة الرشيدة والغرة الحميدة واكحل أنظارنا بنظرة منا إليه. اللهم نقسم عليك بالزهراء فاطمة إلا ما رزقتنا شفاعة الزهراء في الدنيا وفي القبر وفي الآخرة يا الله يا الله يا الله، لقضاء الحوائج ولشفاء المرضى ولكشف هذه الغمة عن هذه الأمة ولتعجيل فرج مولانا صاحب العصر والزمان، وإلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات لا سيما أرواح أموات الجالسين والحاضرين. رحم الله من يقرأ السورة المباركة الفاتحة مع الصلوات.